Is there a pill that can fix your mental health or addiction problems? Absolutely not. They can assist, but they will never fix it. Let's jump into things that you do have in your control that can assist with your mental health and any addictions you have. With Mental Health Awareness Month coming to an end at the end of May, let's look at a few things that can help anyone suffering from either addictions or mental health in general. And these are things that can help you with or without seeing healthcare providers. However, I would strongly advise you, obviously, to if you can. But let's look at these different factors or even perspectives on ways you can potentially long-term assist with that drug addiction, or just help with your mental health in general. And also, let's remember, women, young adult women, are at higher chances of suicide or have higher chances of having suicidal ideation. It's pretty profound looking at it today. Men obviously do as well, but women, when it comes to suicidal thoughts and ideation, it's increasing. Not saying with men it isn't, but with women it is with time. So this goes out to everyone out there, and in particular for anyone suffering from any sort of drug addiction in general, but this could help anyone out there. So the first thing we'll look at in pertaining to drug addictions, the most important factor that you must understand if you are somebody going through a drug withdrawal or addiction, or trying to help somebody going through one, is, are you or the person suffering ready to quit? Because at the end of the day, if that person is not ready to give up the substance or the alcohol or whatever it may be, you can assist all you want and try to help the person and give them resources, but you have to understand at the end of the day, they've got to want to do it. They've got to take that first step and that first initiation in regards to this concept. I'm just not going to beat around the bush with this. If you've offered help and you've sent someone to rehab or gotten them help in the past or tried to, and they keep relapsing and failing, don't get mad at yourself for it. Don't get mad at the person who's using either. Just realize they have to want to do it themselves, and there's only so much you can do, to where you don't want to be spending all your money on somebody and then have your own set of problems as a result of somebody else's actions. So that's number one. Number two, this can go towards people with addictions or mental health in general, which I ask the question of your diet. Now, if all you're consuming is foods high in sugars, high in sodium, you're not eating healthy fats, you're not eating fruits, you're not eating vegetables, you're not eating food from the ground, organic food, that could be a factor in regards to your mental health, or it could be a factor in regards to why you're still feeling mentally drained or foggy post-drug addiction. And it can only help you as a precursor to stopping addictions as well, is look at your diet, because 9 times out of 10, somebody who's suffering from an addiction or even sometimes even mental health problems, you can look right at it and look at their diet. What are they eating? Are they eating fast food every day? And not even just fast food, are they eating candy all the time? A little bit of candy here and there is fine, chocolate's fine, dark chocolate can be good as well. But it's a factor that the more you give your brain the opportunity to react to that impulse and that craving, it can cause more mental weakness with time as well. So number two, your diet, which I can do a whole video on diet as well. I just wanted to get this video out once again just because it's the end of Mental Health Awareness Month. So diet. Also in regards to that, eating healthier, for example, eating things such as blueberries, fruits, vegetables. A lot of these things are high in antioxidants, which you might ask, what is an antioxidant? An antioxidant is something that prevents free radicals, which free radicals are things that are precursors to developing cancers and whatnot. So antioxidants come in and they can help clean out, or even in that way help assist in reducing the risk of developing cancers. So long term, again, a lot of times who have, for example, cancers, physical conditions like that, it can lead to more mental health problems. So I ask the question, what are you eating? Number 3, this can go toward people who have drug addictions and just mental health in general. So I hope you're seeing that mental health and drug addiction and addictions in general go hand in hand with each other, which is a history of trauma. And what I mean by this is, yes, there is generational trauma, but most people have generational trauma. I'm saying direct trauma. So is there a history of being physically or emotionally abused? And, just consistently being that way. And sometimes you might not realize that, but that can play a role. That's why it's important to, if you can, see a counselor. If you can't, looking at resources that can help you deal with this trauma and help you face it head on in a keyword healthy way. Healthy way. This isn't something you go about and just start telling people about your trauma and thinking that's going to fix it. Yes, getting off your chest can help. It's something you can actually, it can help you if you're talking to someone about this. So I recommend for women who've been through trauma to see a counselor, a female counselor. It's a lot easier for them to relate to female counselors. And with men, a lot of times men don't want to, because they're men, they don't want to see counselors or whatnot. But a man seeing a male counselor a lot of times is a lot more useful in that discussion. But when it comes to trauma, a lot of times it's hard for anyone to face it, whatever you're going through. So just in that regard, understanding family trauma, whatever kind of trauma you're going through, can play a part in your mental health, physical health as well, and also potential drug addictions. This is not a matter of something that you should blow off. You should always, when it comes to this, seek help, even if it costs a lot of money. It doesn't matter. And if you can't afford it, there's a lot of good resources online you can find as well. But learning how to deal with that trauma and coping with it is very important. The next thing I will say that can kind of sometimes go with trauma, seeing a counselor or whatnot, the next thing I'm going to ask, and this helps for anyone out there, is, do you have or believe in a higher power? And I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything here, but a lot of times, for example, even praying, for example, is something that when it comes to a mental health perspective, or even somebody who's suffering with addictions, can be the thing that they need. For example, I know, for example, in AA and in NA, they go through the 12 steps, and they have a higher power. For example, in my situation, just this is in general, that's helped with my mental health throughout the years, just in general, is reading the Bible. Reading and diving into your spiritual, the spiritual aspect of your life can kind of sound wacky to some, but it is really something that can save your life. So, like, literally. It's something for me every day that I rely on is through prayer and asking of prayers. So finding a local community or finding a local church or a gathering of young adults or older adults, depending on your age, can help you, and they can help guide you. And if that's what you need counseling-wise, sometimes talking to even elders in, let's say, the church you go to about your problems, a lot of times that can help you, because they're not supposed to be judgmental or anything. You should be able to go to them with your problems. Stuff like this can really help, finding those resources. And just in general, trying to seek out answers. And a lot of times you might not get the answers you're wanting when praying or whatnot. It might not be the answers you're wanting, but at the same time, prayers can be answered. Whether that be your higher power, God, Jesus, you name it, having that to lean on can truthfully be a lifesaver for your mental health and drug withdrawal or addictions as well. And finally, reading. Now, with reading, and I know some people out there might not be able to read, but I highly encourage you can go to your local library and there are free classes there, or you can just go get books to try read in general. Reading expands your mind. It really can help you in regards to taking your mind or taking that focus of that compulsion or that impulse that you're having, or those thoughts of trauma or whatever you're going through, that anxiety, depression, that addiction. It can help you create new thought processes in your brain and form new complex ideas that can help you overcome the challenges that you're going through. In essence, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. And a lot of times through just watching things on TV, and I'm not saying podcasts and audiobooks, they're fine. That can help too if you can't read, listening to audiobooks. But if you can actually pick up a hard copy book and read it, you get that you get the full aspect in regards to forming those new neural pathways, especially after somebody who's been going through addictions or mental health problems, substituting with drugs or alcohol. That can really help build up that self-esteem again and help build those neural pathways to help you feel confident and be able to have a conversation with somebody and not feel bad about, oh, I think that, for example, like let's say you're not the best reader, you don't read much. That sometimes can dictate even the kind of conversation you're going to have with somebody you think might be a little bit more mature than you. But even if you're not a strong reader, through audiobooks or even trying to or starting to read, just taking 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes before you go to bed, 20 minutes when you wake up in the morning, going to the bathroom and just sitting on the toilet and reading for 20 minutes. Things like this will expand the mind and will ultimately help you if you're having any sort of mental health problems or even addictions. That is your daily dose of mental health. Check out all my videos in regards to mental health. I wanted to get this out before the end of mental health awareness month. This is the end of mental health awareness month again. Ends on, I believe, the very end of May. But I wanted to get this out because this can help anyone out there, from mental health problems to even drug addictions. I still have the video on delirium tremens coming out soon. God bless everyone. I hope this helps you. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if any of this helps you.